Recently I used my Vango Skye tent for a camping trip. While preparing for the trip, I inspected the tent and the fiberglass poles. I noticed, however, that the poles were in a poor condition, specifically the elastic shock cord. So I decided to replace the fiberglass poles with aluminium poles and to use this trip to test the poles. This is a bit of an experiment here. I replaced one of the fiberglass poles with an alloy one. So this is the first time this week and I'm going to use it this way, and if it holds out I'm going to replace the other two fiberglass poles with the same system. So the tricky part of replacing the pole is not so much cutting the new pole at the right length. The tent uses steel pins that needs to be inserted at each end of the pole, and I need to have a way to secure the elastic shock cord. This is one of the fiberglass poles. I'm not a fan of those poles. They're heavy, they're not as strong as aluminium poles, and they're not as durable. The ground sheet of the tent has steel pins that are to be inserted on each end of the poles. So I need to come up with a way to attach the elastic shock cord to the end and allowing the pin to be inserted into the aluminium pole. After measuring the length of the original glass fiber pole, I purchased a 4-meter aluminium pole from AliExpress with an outside diameter of 11 millimeters. I decided to use large steel washers as the endpoints to which I can tie the elastic shock cords. I use an angle grinder to cut off the sides of the washers to make them a little smaller and easier to move through the sleeves of the fly of the tent. It's important that there are no sharp edges on the endpoints, otherwise the elastic shock cord could get damaged and snap. After I determined the exact length of the new pole, I marked it and used a pipe cutting tool to cut off the excess aluminium on one side of the pole. The most tricky bit was to untie the elastic shock cord from the existing endpoint on the new pole, removing the cut off aluminium, and to tie the cord back to the washer that I created. So during the process I had to ensure I kept tension on the elastic cord so that it wouldn't end up at the bottom of the pole. And this is what the finished product looked like. It is functional, it's practical, and if it's durable I will replace the other two fiberglass poles as well. Initially this video showed just this method where I use a steel washer as an endpoint to secure the elastic shock cord. However, I revisited my method and I came up with a way to do the same but much easier, which I will address in the second part of this video. I noticed that one of the repair sleeves that I had has a really tight fit with the orange aluminium pole that I bought. So in this revised method I'm going to extend the aluminium pole by using the repair sleeve and using some small nuts to secure the elastic shock cord. So I started by cutting the repair sleeve in half using the pipe cutting tool. Next I removed the steel washer that I initially used and replaced it with the nut and the repair sleeve. Obviously I had to undo my previous method before I could slide on the repair sleeve. If you start from scratch, you don't have to undo anything. At least on one side of the pole you can just slide the repair sleeve over the aluminium pole. Once I secured the elastic shock cord to the nut, I used a hammer to slide the sleeve halfway over the aluminium pole. I did have to measure and cut the aluminium pole at length again, since the addition of the repair sleeves increased the overall length of the pole. I'm pleased with the results. I'm looking forward to testing it out again. Well, this wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it was informative. If you have any additional questions, please drop me a comment and I will reply to you. Otherwise, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel. Cheers.